Time for an evening stroll with Sam Stoll. Ranked third in the country, Nevills ranked sixth. Good way to end this duel.
It is. I mean, two real competitive heavyweights that we could see in the semifinals of the national tournament, and also at least in the quarterfinals, and likely, you know, in the Big Ten championships as well.
You look at heavyweight, Kyle Snyder, of course, Ohio State, Adam Coon from Michigan, and I would say these guys, you know, right in that mix and that after Snyder.
Yeah, but the tough thing for Nevills is that you know that Sam Stoll is not going to go ahead and shoot on you, all right, the way Kyle Snyder did. So you have a whole different set of concerns when you wrestle somebody like Stoll. Stoll's going to take territory. He's going to come hard on your head just like he did right there. He has a good little foot sweep as well. And so you've got to be strategic on when you're going to shoot on Stoll, because he can really put down a lot of pounds on you and make it difficult for you to get your technique, and he's pretty good at go-behinds.
Good with the upper body. A lot of experience in Greco. Had that big pin against Illinois to seal the win for the Hawkeyes. He's 16-1 all-time in Big Ten duels. His only loss a couple weeks back to the aforementioned Adam Coon of Michigan at Carver Hawkeye.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit more, you know, classic guys, you know, collisions up there, upper body, and you see Stoll working off the 2-on-1. He's been able to capture that.
Nevills, an All-American, was 5th last March. And Stoll.
See how Stoll's marching forward. Everything is, he likes the tie. He can move forward off of it.
Stoll injured last year, looking to get on the stand.
You saw Nevills go ahead and reach that, but you know, he'll try a little bit of level change right there, and that's all right with Stoll, because he'll go ahead and work those tiring out techniques with the head and arm, stuff in your head, not really committed to it. But he wants to make sure that he takes territory in this match. Look for Nevills to kind of back out a little bit, maybe get a little bit better angle right there.
There's a shot.
Yeah, off of the post. And so that's one thing that you try to do, is try to anticipate. And you got two guys that are squared up like that. So one guy reaches, you can go ahead and take thumb to the inside and post. That was good work right there. And he shot wide enough that he wasn't going to be affected by Stoll's body weight if it came down.
Stat on Stoll, out of Kasson Manorville in Minnesota, ended his career with a national record 63 straight pins. His junior and senior year, pinned everybody except one guy. He's a junior world medalist. He's dangerous with the Greco. Oh, he had an opportunity there, maybe.
Yeah, he brought the 2-on-1 down. That's what that Iowa corner likes to see him do, is work off that 2-on-1, maybe get a little bit better angle. And so he's done a nice job of clearing that collar tie of Nevills off and controlling that right arm of Nevills. You know, but good period by Stoll.
Scoreless after 3 minutes. Good shot, Bryce Jordan center. Packed house.
Yeah, and I'd say that you know, given the advantage, Stoll probably a little bit better in the top position. Nevills a little bit more of a mat return guy, drop in on the leg.
Are you good, man? All right, sit still. Top, go. Head on the midline.
Quickly to his feet.
Covering fingers right there. You can cover all 4 fingers like that.
And skips away.
Yeah.
Stoll on the board.
Yeah, with a quick escape. So that's only 11 seconds, 10, 11 seconds of riding time there for Nevills. And so Stoll does have the ability to go ahead and follow. And we saw, you know, last week that Nevills was pretty solid in the bottom position. So yeah, you'd like to see this thing get decided on the feet.
Gotta make him react, Nevills. Move your feet. Yes.
Yeah, a little more in and out type fake. So one thing that Stoll is confident is if you go ahead and fake on him, he will pounce on you and kind of get you out of position and bring you down. So you can't really go out in front of him. Maybe the swing single, getting out to a little bit better angle on the big guy. You see that the strategy for Penn State is to try to get Stoll to react a little bit more of those shots, and what Stoll wants to do is just eliminate that space, move forward, control the tie.
Nevills out of Clovis, California, was a 3-time state champion, highly recruited, won 200 matches in high school. A couple of big hitters here at heavyweight, Nevills and Stoll. Final match of the evening. Stoll loves that 2-on-1.
Yeah, this is, Nevills can get out relatively quickly. This might be just two guys grinding on each other, wearing each other down, and we'll see the action. You know, we've seen Stoll in these matches before. You know, Oklahoma State, he kind of had the same thing against the lighter heavyweight.
That was against Derek White, won that one in 6-4, the second sudden victory. Coming off a win against Conan Jennings in Northwestern, who we saw last night here on BTN with the win over Purdue.
Yeah, you're not going to get much in attempts here with Stoll, but again, you got to try to beat him too, though. So it's like he puts you in a bad way. And, you know, what was impressive about Adam Coon when he wrestled him from Michigan, he got in that over and under tie and then actually just kind of whipped him around, and he saw Stoll just basically collapse. But this is where, oh, beautiful Granby roll, right? Now, Stoll back in on the shot, and this is where he's improved quite a bit, but he's given up a lot of position right now. He's got himself flat.
Extended underneath the Stoll.
He's got the big grip. You know, that's one thing. He's got a strong set. Great job of limping out of that with the leg. Boy, that was well done.
Nevills leading at 3-1. What a period for Nick Nevills. Gets the quick escape and crafty as he kicks and gets behind the big guy Stoll. 3-1.
Yeah, that was just a great shot there. Take a look at the replay. Watch him limp out of this. He concedes and comes right back up. So he jumps up on top of him a little bit, and Stoll didn't bring his biceps in and make it tight. And the reaction was just like a limp arm off of getting out of the whizzer. It was beautiful. Now, that was really well done.
In the beginning of that
that's
sequence,
the same thing that Adam Coon did to Mike McMullen in the semifinals. I'm going off of memory here, but it was that type of thing that the two big guys, big cats going at it, and it was fun to see. So Stoll, not out of this match here, gets a quick escape. He's back in it. Didn't give up riding time.
A little bit surprised there that Nevills didn't maybe run him out of bounds or drop to a leg and just gave that escape, but wanted to mention before at the beginning of that sequence, that was advantage Stoll.
Yeah, it certainly was for a little bit there, but he did a nice job of flattening him out. And Stoll kind of stayed with the lock. A lot of times you let go of the lock. I call it don't go down with a shift. Don't go down to your belly right there. Post your hand, give up the grip. And but the impressive part of that was just Nevills limping out of that with his leg. Huge.
"25 seconds.
Good work. And Nevills presenting himself. He's really going to make Stoll force a shot. And so does this Stoll have this in his arsenal?
And I'm thinking, Jim, the winner here, the 3 seed in the Big Tens, perhaps?
No question about it. And now perhaps the 3 ranking.
Nick Nevills of Penn State. 3-2 over Sam Stoll. Nevills, his arm raised, he gets the decision. Nice win for Penn State. Nevills picking up some steam.
Yeah, Nevills picking up some steam, and you know the momentum has stayed in place for this Penn State program. No letdown, right, in performance. And we knew that Marinelli match would be tough for Joseph. Good style matchup, and you know they keep rolling. And
141 pounds. There you see Nick Lee, freshman. What a campaign he's had, 20-4, and Vince Turk comes in 8-5. This is a weight class, Jim, at 141 for the Hawkeyes, much like Penn State at 197. Big opportunity here for Turk.
Yeah, he is. He's doing exactly what he did in the Michigan meet, where he jumps right in on a single leg on Lee. You know, he gets off to fast starts, and that's a pretty good takedown right there. And he really is deceptive. But Lee keeps a great pace through the match, and is going to go ahead and get, I believe, an escape right there. Yeah, referee McCormick gave him an escape. Again, another shot right there by Turk, but he wasn't able to follow up on it, and that goes right into a nice single leg position there for Lee. Yeah, you got to like the fact that Turk gets off to a fast start. I mean, he doesn't waste any time out there. Lee answers with that single leg finish. So 2 attacks by Turk, and then Lee able to go ahead and scramble and good by just keeping a good stance and just drop right into that left-handed shot. Pretty good finisher.
On the board after just 30 seconds. Lee 20-4, as I mentioned, 18 of those 20 victories, Jim, bonus points, and he's got a great pace.
Yeah, he does, and we saw against Ohio State against Joey McKenna how he kind of brought the pace back into the match late and kind of worked for him. McKenna did a nice job in the last 40 seconds dropping in on the leg and slowing him down. But, you know, you like what you see from Lee. And a lot of this is just his ability to go ahead and do what he's doing right now. He's measuring that shot, coming back in with a counter shot. Now he's finishing on the opposite side of where he got the first takedown. Good stuff right there. Well done. Boy, you know, you love to see that poise. You know, one of those things you look for in a national champion is does he have the ability to go ahead and attack both sides of the body? And there was 2 good finishes on both sides. And
it's one thing with this Penn State lineup, Jim, they'll give some takedowns.
I
mean, guys like Noel, Rutherford even will give up a takedown from time to time. Situation here with Lee, but it takes 3, 4 takedowns to beat these guys.
Yeah, I always talk about, you know, how many takedown guy are you? All right, are you, you know, if I give up 1 takedown, I get beat, or if I kind of give up 2. You know, the best wrestlers out there are 4 and 5 takedown guys. You really got to go out there and take them down 4 or 5 times to beat them. And if you have that type of mentality, then it's just a matter of are you wrestling the right pace in the match, and you're less worried about score. But if you're one of those 1 takedown guys, it can just upset your momentum terribly if you give up a takedown, even if it's off of your shot.
Love watching him just stalk. I mean, he's always on the chase.
Yeah, these are great shots that we're getting here from our camera people, because, you know, at the elevated stage there, you get a good look at the motion that people have and Lee has in the tie-up. So he's square up, and a lot of times we see guys get caught right there. But he's given up a 2-on-1 by Turk. But he almost shoots to get out of that tie. And look at the shot there, but he really works the head hard. A lot of freshmen, when they show up, they don't work the head as hard as what Nick Lee does, and it, you know, really tires a guy out late in the match. So he's got the slide by, so he can attack at the shoulders. Now he'll drum back to a pick to the other side.
Final seconds in the first. Hard whizzer there from Turk. And time will run out on Lee, who leads at 5-4.
Let's take a look at the end of the second takedown here. Shelving the leg, see the leg on the left thigh right there, and now he's going to go ahead and just get around the waist, and then he turns the hips and makes that big step right there. When you make that big step, you got to make sure you put weight on that foot too. You just don't keep it up in the air. And he did more of a kind of a drive and step in, and you got to bend your knees and bring your hips into it. Worked really well.
Good breakdown off the whistle. He's got Turk flat. Lee had won 6 straight before falling to Joey McKenna of Ohio State last Saturday night, 7-6. Turk has come in winning 2 straight. Had that crazy match, Jim, 2 weeks ago with Sal Profaci of Michigan.
He did the thing you rarely see in the sport. The pilot light was out, and he found a way to get it ignited again and won in overtime with that shot. It looked like he was really on the edge and really kind of collapsing in that match, but found a way to get that takedown and end up being the victor in overtime.
Won that match 13-11. Lee doing a solid job on top, riding time over 1:25. Now 5-4 second period. Turk works to his feet.
These are the type of mat returns you're going to expect to see in tight matches against maybe the rated guys in the weight. And we've always talked about this, Shane, in our broadcast, how wide open this 141-pound weight class is. You know, there's eight spots for all Americans, but you could probably pick them from somebody in that high ranking is going to be placed in this tournament in the NCAAs. It's probably ranked between 15 and 20. Just a real nightmare to be able to rank that thing.
Lee constantly moving forward. Just takes territory. Great shot here, Jim.
Yeah, staying on the hips, low. Notice how he sensed that little neck wrench right there, but you can't neck wrench a guy when the guy has his laces up. I really believe that where that neck wrench works best is if the guy is in there and has his laces flat right there. But Lee's feet were really active.
Short time takedown for the Nittany Lion. Lee leads at 7-5. Riding time at 2 minutes.
Down, green down.
There you see Coach Franklin, head coach of Penn State's football team, Cale Sanderson. What a job he's done in his 9th season. They have won 6 of the last 7 NCAA championships. Claw ride from Turk.
You know, one thing it's really common amongst these really solid programs in our sport is that they've all got great relationships with their football coaches. You know, Tom Ryan and
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer,
Action.
and, you know, Kirk Ferentz and Tom Brands. Kirk Ferentz took part in the polar plunge that they have. You know, there's just close relationships. You know, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State and John Smith, longtime friends, but going back to high school. So it's like, you know, it's fun to see. Warning there on red, right? The top position, that'd be Turk.
So a point for Lee, now 8-5. That's a tough spot there for Turk, Jim, because you get hit for stalling. It's a point. Maybe just give the escape up. What do you do there?
Yeah, you just gotta keep him down and maybe see if there's some sort of way you can kind of get in top of the freshman and see if he can fold a little bit. We've seen here in the last couple of times that, well, there's just how you switch out of it, right there. Good back pressure on that.
9-5.
And I hear the Iowa coaching staff, they're talking to Turk about they don't want the straight-on double, they want a single, all right? And then Lee cut him off on that. Now he comes back to a shot below the knee. Well done.
Another takedown.
Okay.
Bonus point.
Bonus point opportunity. Tuning into his coaches. Gets one more here in a ride out. He'll get the bonus point. You know, and this is just so critical. You know, here you got a young freshman you're bringing into your program, and he's out there competing. You brought him out of redshirt, but you want to bring him into this bonus point culture that they have at the NCAA tournament.
Just love his body language. Nick Lee right back to the line. He's ready to go. Needs a takedown and a ride out for a bonus.
Yeah, Turk isn't done either here. He's holding together a lot better than we saw in that Michigan match. Nice double leg shot right there, and he got it. Yeah. Wow. Showed me something there. Stuck up for him, and he ended up giving us a takedown. So, you know, that's improvement from what we saw in the Michigan match where he kind of fell apart. He won the match, but, you know, these Hawks are looking for more than just victories here. They're looking for moments inside these matches where their guys are really competing well.
With that takedown and their ride out, able to erase riding time, it'll be an 11-8 decision for freshman Nick Lee, now 21-4 on the season. 174 pounds. Joey Gunther for the Hawkeyes. Mark Hall, ranked number 2 in the country, a battle that pits a pair of sophomores. And Mark Hall, that big win against Bo Jordan, that token duck under and ride out to get the win last Saturday.
That really was a huge swing in that meet. You know, 1 point win, of course, a 6-point swing as far as the team points go, and made a huge difference. Mark Hall, this is what's impressed me about his work out there in this style. We all knew he was pretty good on the feet. We knew he was a great scrambler here, but he's been able to go ahead and control matches in the top position.
Hall 22-0 this season, 8 pins, 6 techs and 2 majors.
Easy, guys.
Beat Jordan
easy.
6-4 last week.
Shocker,
Settle down on the
you know,
clubs.
just still a little bit of shock here from that last match.
Iowa leading 13-9. Penn State with that 43-match win streak.
Yeah, just having a clear definition how you want to win matches. That's what Marinelli was able to do. Now Gunther.
2-on-1 for the Hawkeye.
Yeah, this is tight right here. Look for something big. That big half Nelson right there. Now he's going to inside trip as well. And not quite as well set up, but look for the kind of lock. And wisely, Gunther concedes the 2.
Absolutely. Good judgment there by the Hawkeye. He was in trouble.
Yeah.
Now
look
looking
at this.
for a cradle.
This is tight as well.
Gonna roll him through.
And this is it.
And there is 6 for Mark Hall.
Wow, what a celebration.
His 9th pin of the season. And that's what superstars do, Jim. They needed him, and he stepped up.
Well, he's like I said, superstar. He's got everything going for him. The national champion, answering the situation in a big dual meet. Gets the back points.
184 pounds, Bo Nickal. Nittany Lions out in front 15-13. And Nickal undefeated. Huge win last week getting the major decision against Miles Martin of Ohio State. Don't blink.
Well,
don't blink.
Shane, I don't know how you coach against this guy. You can attack below the knee, and then you attack him at the hip. I mean, you've got to really have a really definite game plan. And I know that Mitch Bowman probably has got some good instructions from his coaches here on what to be able to do, what to stay out of it. But you know, that's when Bo just goes to work. And what separates him from most real great scramblers is he can get on his offense, just like you see right there, attacking below the knee, right back into a cradle. Oh man, this is tight.
He's got 12 pins, 6 under a minute. Could he get 7 right here? Hall with the cradle and a pin. Nickal looking to duplicate that effort.
Trying to go, yeah, gets it.
There you have it. His 7th pin under a minute. I told you, don't blink.
You know, so these Penn State wrestlers, these Penn State national champions go out there for these bonus points and don't think for a second they don't know that Bo doesn't know that Mark Hall was able to deliver a quick one as well.
Bo knows pins. BTN standout presented by Discover.
Yeah, good far side cradle right here. He has it locked up, and so he gets him onto his right hip. And then it's all about adjusting, trying to slide your right shoulder away so he can get the opponent's shoulders on the mat. Look at the reaction.
Another day at the office for Mr. Nickal. 165 pounds, one we're all looking forward to. One of 2 undefeated freshmen in all the country, Alex Marinelli, the Bull, ranked 4th in the country, and the reigning national champ, Vincenzo Joseph. And he is always, Jim, calm, cool, collected.
Well, he's going to need to be, because this Alex Marinelli is going to come at him pretty hard, real physical wrestler. But my opinion of, like, it makes a difference, but Vincenzo Joseph is probably one of the most underrated guys I think we saw coming into this year. His improvement during the course of the year, ways going out there and winning, you know, he's really stepped it up.
You made the comment about Miles Martin with Ohio State, and Cale Sanderson said the same thing about Vincenzo Joseph from the standpoint of they win national titles, but the most improved guys on the team.
Well, Shane, here we go. This is what makes Joseph special here is this overhook position. He's got a double overhook, and you see how that, Marinelli totally committed to trying to get out of that, but he can't get both arms out. He's pushing away right there. Vincenzo Joseph taking territory, you know. Doesn't want to step into that inside trip, but this is what separates him. He can go ahead and take territory, and then he come out of it like most guys would be a little flushed after that big effort right there. He just gets nice and calm, cool into his stance.
Watch the clubs, guys.
And what Marinelli wants to do is turn this into a little bit of a war here. He's got to turn it into a physical match. He likes to come hard with that collar tie, right? Gets to the leg, right? Nice job of Joseph battling with that underhook. Yeah, you can just. This is going to be a fun one to watch. A lot of chess going on here at this stage. Again, Marinelli, you got to try to beat him out of that stance. How are you going to do it? We saw where Joseph had tried to jack him up with these underhooks and overhooks, but Marinelli not taking the bait, not pushing back in. He's basically circling out of it.
Pair of undefeateds. Marinelli and Joseph here at 165 pounds. Joseph out of Pittsburgh, PA, Central Catholic High School. Marinelli out of St. Paris Graham, Ohio.
And again, Marinelli uses a lot of energy in his matches, and normally he just tests his opponent to the point where, you know, he's got a little bit more left at the end than the opponent does. But Joseph is just such a hard guy to tire out. And you can just see it's nice and smooth in there, and just just relaxed, and whereas Marinelli is just, I mean, he's throwing haymakers there with every collar tie.
I mean, this is physicality versus finesse, right?
Yeah, it is, and it's a little more Ali Frazier-like. And straight on double leg there. Good job by Marinelli staying in good position. There's weight on the hands. That was a good freight train double right there. And so, he gets you standing up a little bit. And for Marinelli, it didn't take a lot. But that's what,
Action, guys, action.
He goes high for a while, and then he'll be able to drop down low on that shot. Neutral. So it's a nice misdirection, but it's top to bottom.
Marinelli, 4-time Ohio State champion at St. Paris Graham, wrestled for Jeff Jordan. Team won 4 team titles. They won the national team title when he was a junior. career record of 204. And talked about Tom Brands going into Pennsylvania. This was big to get him out of Ohio.
Certainly was, and like I said, I think that one of the things that the Iowa program, there's a lot of optimism, and you've got to recruit at this level. Let's take a look at this takedown here by Joseph. Just a straight-on double, but see how he's high, relaxed, and comes back in and drives through and makes that big step. He really committed to that. Marinelli took it as far back as he could, but he really didn't have much of a counter left after about the third or fourth drive. And if you're Marinelli, you want to go ahead and stay with Joseph here on the mat returns. Joseph right back up to his feet. And you never know when this will start paying off, so you got to stay with it. You got to stay with your mat returns. That's part of your strategy. You've got to stay with this stuff regardless of the score.
Great mat return, second one of the period.
And you keep on doing it, and who knows, and sometimes guys they'll fade and concede. So here's the first mat return. He pulls him back into the mat. But you notice what Joseph does that a lot of champions will do? They come back down, they land with their knees up close to their chest. See how the knees come up close to the chest right there? So he's in a great position to come back to his feet.
Good point. There's an escape.
So after a number of those mat returns, really, it was Marinelli who didn't stay committed to it, and Joseph, with his repetitions, being able to get to his feet, not getting broken down, was able to get the quick escape.
Marinelli, one of two freshmen in the country that are undefeated. The other, North Carolina State's Hayden Hidley.
Yeah, and he got to the leg right there a couple times. Now he comes back with that inside trip. Well, he does that as well as anybody in the country. He was able to get 2 back points as well.
Joseph showing why he is the #1 guy at the weight class, the reigning national champ.
So I don't think he waved that off. He pounded the. He didn't get the 2.
Looking for an inside cradle, perhaps.
Yeah, he has it locked up. But fell off of it. But look how hard Marinelli's having to work here. Right? We're back in that position, and Mr. Smooth just basically stays really calm and collected right there at the edge of the mat and says, hey, you want to come back at me? I'm going to inside trip you.
He must be deceptively strong, Joseph.
I think he's got a good set of hips, and he's just, again, he can stay relaxed out there, but that was a beautiful inside trip.
Seen that before.
Off of that shot. And that's his money thing, when he won the national championship off of last year.
Pinned Isaiah Martinez of Illinois, who was the 2-time reigning national champion. And good period for Joseph.
Look at this shot. This is not Marinelli's strong side, so he comes straight up. You notice how he came straight up and he came right into it. Instead of keeping the pressure forward on Joseph, he came straight up off of that instead of coming into him and keeping the pressure on to keep Joseph backing up, and then he was able to follow up with that. So again, it wasn't necessarily Marinelli's strong side, and he came straight up, and that's what set up that inside trip.
5-3 score now, early third period. Hawkeyes up 10-9 after 5 matches. First match here in the second half.
I talked about in the keys of the meet, there's going to be moments in these meets where you've got to build yourself some optimism on what you like. And here, this might be a situation here where, heck, what the heck, go for it here with this bear hug, see who's going to win that. And he does, right there.
And Marinelli's got Joseph on his back.
Yep. Wow.
This will be a 6-point move.
That's correct. So he comes out, and we're middle of the third period, so.
And that, Jim, was strength on strength.
Well, it's just commitment here. Like I said, these guys must be listening to our broadcast, because it was just the situation where Marinelli had a good chance to compete, and he didn't shy away from it and said, what the heck, I'm going to try to score. Escape by Joseph. That makes it a 3-point situation here. So 2 takedowns are really what Joseph needs to get himself back in this match. 2 takedowns and a ride out.
Riding time a non-factor.
And so this is where Marinelli wanted to get to. This situation where he's holding the stance, all right? He's holding position. His physicalness in this match is kind of paying off. And he's not taking the bait here as far as sinking that underhook here with that left arm. So Joseph really has to come back at his shot.
And this is where Marinelli wants to be. He's very strong here.
Yep. Good head-hands defense. Big upset.
Alex Marinelli, he will remain undefeated. That 6-point move, feet to back, and Marinelli will give Joseph his first defeat of the season. Big win for the freshman.
Certainly was, but he took advantage of the one opportunity he had where you thought that Joseph may have the advantage, that bear hug situation.
As I said, we'll start at 125 pounds, running third in the country. Spencer Lee for the Hawkeyes. Penn State counters with Carson Coon, who last week, Jim, suffered a major decision defeat to Nathan Tomasello, but really wrestled well.
Well, it's kind of what I was talking about with the Iowa wrestlers, that, you know, one of the keys to the meet here. Coon was able to go ahead and show moments inside that match against Nate Tomasello here with the takedowns he's able to get. And so he can go ahead and continue that momentum. Of course, Spencer Lee, you know, gets off to fast starts in his matches, and that's really the key for him. He loves working off that 2-on-1, and he comes to that little shot right there to that right leg of the knee pad. That's where he likes to be, working with a head position. Gets to it. Now he's going to a carry right away, and he's able to go ahead and hold that pretty tight. He might be able to get points here. Referee Mike McCormick is our official here today, guy with a lot of experience, so he's going to go ahead and get the takedown. So a nice jump out there by Lee.
You mentioned before, Jim, this guy comes out with some quick starts. He's got 5 techs, 4 pins on the season. And don't give up your wrist to Spencer Lee. He's a tilting machine, this guy.
Well, he's got all the old tricks of an old coach. You know, everybody who's been in the sport has wrestled that old coach that you're spotting him 20 pounds anyway, and he makes you feel like you're spotting him 50 with all that work that he's able to do. And so he's really tough in the top position. He's barred it up, and look at him hump for that wrist. He doesn't get it, but he's going to go right over the top with that half. So stoppage right there by referee McCormick. They're called that potentially dangerous pretty quick.
They pulled Lee out a red shirt on January 5th against Michigan State. That night, a 46-second pin as he snuck Rayvon Foley. That is the fastest pin on the season for the Hawkeyes as a team. And I've just been really impressed, Jim, with his work on top as a true freshman.
Yeah, and it's not always just in these positions. You know, when he gets this bar arm, and you mentioned he's hunting for the wrist right away, but he does something just a little bit unusual. He goes to a bridge when he gets guy, you know, he pins the guy to his chest, and he hits a bridge there, which has been really fun to watch. So he doesn't give his opponent much room to get up. I mean, if you don't, in this parallel position right here, I wouldn't be surprised if referee McCormick starts really pounding the stall warnings in the bottom position.
Lee up 2-0.
If you don't move out here in Coon's situation, you know, really kind of come up a little bit off of that, off your belly. Yep, they've got it right there over the top. This is tight.
1,002.
Spencer Lee looking to give the Hawkeyes a pin here at 125.
Boy,
now going to readjust.
He'll get it right there.
Slap of the mat. Another pin for Spencer Lee. His 5th pin on the season. Talked about it, Jim. He comes out quick. You talk about urgency. You see it from Spencer Lee every time he steps inside that circle.
Well, let's take a look at the top position. He was able to go ahead and work that half Nelson. I thought he had him stuck right here. It's pretty tough for Coon to stay off his back right there. Then when he follows over and gets on the half Nelson side, it was over.
197, Jim. Who's it going to be?
Well,
it's mystery time here on BTN. Who's it going to be?
I don't know. We're hearing possibly Rasheed, but we'll see who goes out there. And so it's that man's call. Been in these situations before.
Here we go.
Maybe he doesn't know. I doubt that.
It is Shakur Rasheed. If you picked him, you are a winner tonight. Shakur Rasheed, he'll get the nod tonight. Of course, it was Anthony Cassar last week against Ohio State. Wilkie and Rasheed, pair of sophomores here at 197.
Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. He's given Shakur Rasheed with all the effort that he's put in the season. He's going to go out there and jump right into a takedown against 8th-ranked Cash Wilkie.
And you look at the cradles. Hall the cradle of the pin, Nickal as well. This guy might have the best cradle. He's got 11 pins. He can cradle you from 10 feet away.
Yeah, he does have a great one, and he actually went for the side tilt right there. And so this is one of those situations where if you're Wilkie, you prepare for Cassar, who's a little bit more basic, or you go ahead and, you know, if you find yourself in the down position against Shakur Rasheed, you're going to keep that knee away from your chin.
Rasheed 15-2.
You know, and this is just such a tough position to be in as a coach. I mean, I've been there. I've had couple of ranked guys in the same weight class, and it's just like you're giving both guys an opportunity. And nice work there by Rasheed.
He's got the cradle.
He does, but they go out of bounds. So Tom Brands is reminding him about what they went over all week.
So tell me, Jim, to stop a cradle, how do you coach against a guy like Rasheed or any of these guys, Penn State, with the cradles?
Well, you've got to, first of all, you've got to get some back pressure, and you've got to be determined to keep your, the cradler will have a favorite side that he likes to hit that from. Nice job of getting good back pressure against the opponent and sliding those hips away and knees away so you keep your knee away from your chin. And it's not always, he gets them, he goes right into them right after a takedown. It's just kind of like a freestyle wrestler going right into a gut wrench, after a takedown. He does the same thing Rasheed does.
Another takedown at the edge, make it 4-1.
What impresses me about what's happening in this Penn State program is how amiable and how these guys, throw Matt McCutcheon in the mix there too, last year's 97 pounder, how okay they are with everybody. There's not a lot of internal strife here between the three guys in that way.
You mentioned freestyle, Jim. Couple freestyle opportunities for wrestling fans. The World Cup, it's coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. That's April 7th and 8th. And then State College, second city to host the inaugural Final X Series. That'll be at Rec Hall on Saturday, June 16th. Final X will determine the 2018 U.S. Senior World Teams in men's and women's freestyle. So make sure to check those dates and get to Iowa City and State College.
Yeah, good work here by Rasheed breaking Wilkie down. And again, that's what he's conscious of right now, is that trying to keep that knee away from your head. And when he gets the guys that distracted about it, again, he's tough duty for Wilkie. He had to prepare for two guys that are pretty darn good.
Wilkie has lost 3 of 5. He's won back-to-back matches against Anderson and Chaconas of Minnesota and Northwestern after dropping 3 straight.
Yeah, this is an excellent period. So, there's 3 ways you look at maybe deciding who's the guy. Number one is how they're doing against the national competition, how they do against each other, and then really how they look in the room. Are all factors. And it's going to be just a tough choice that Cael Sanderson will not be comfortable making after it's made.
And regardless of last Saturday night, Colin Moore is still, in my opinion, the guy at this weight class. But 197 after last year, far from Minnesota, graduated. Jaden Cox of Missouri. And this weight class is really wide open.
It can be, yeah. I think you're right about Moore. I think he's certainly one of the guys to beat. But we're going to find out about a lot of guys here.
There you see.
Hey, I'm going to give one of my Gibby Awards here right now, and you're going to see why here in a second. See that man in the middle there, Casey Cunningham? All right, he had a power move last week, right? Now we're going to be able to hopefully get to that.
All right, top, bottom, neutral.
You saw Olympic champion Jake Varner there as well. There's Coach Cunningham.
Yeah, so he had a move last week, and it was in the first period.
Rasheed going on bottom here to start the second period. He's up by 3. He's got riding time over 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, good work there by Rasheed popping to his feet. And the Penn State wrestlers do a good job of that. Immediately looking for, they get to their feet. They're looking for reversals and throws. They're high effort type of a good time to take that risk, from your feet. Once you get to your feet, not necessarily settling for an escape.
A lot of highly combustible material, right?
To
handle with care.
Yeah.
"30 seconds have passed here in the second.
A straight-on shot there by Rasheed.
Good recovery, though. Right back to his feet. Doesn't sit on his shoe tops.
Yeah, it just like in the Marinelli match, there's got to be moments inside these matches where these Iowa wrestlers have something to build off of here. And Wilkie, we've seen where he's been a one-and-done type of guy. He makes that one shot, and it's not really followed up with much. And I think that the coaching staff is looking for a little bit more follow-up here with Cash Wilkie. Again, only it's a sophomore.
Yeah, he's
right?
a sophomore. Battle Creek, Iowa.
There's their effort right there, and he was able to knock him down right there. He's got both legs, and if he settle back, that looks like it. We're going to end up in that ankle pass situation, and the referee's going to call it potentially dangerous.
Watch his ankle. You good, man? Watch his knee. We're neutral.
Great crowd here tonight. You look at the top 10 indoor records. Penn State with 5 of the top 10, including the top 3. And right around 16,000 here tonight.
Take a look at that. We showed this, but watch this. This is last week. See Casey Cunningham here? This is a boss move coming up, all right? So he's contesting. He's upset with the referee. Again, this is assistant coach on this national championship team. He's upset. Hey, where's the brick?
Where's the brick?
Give me the brick, all right? Give me the brick. Kale doesn't even acknowledge him, all right? He looks over there. Here's the brick. He's got a hold of the brick now. He says, Kale doesn't even give him the shot. That's a boss move, guys. That's why he gets a gibby.
He's phenomenal. One of the most respected assistant coaches in the country. There you see Jake Varner to his left, our right, Cale Sanderson. A Big Ten team has won the national championship 11 straight years. Of course, Iowa and Penn State. 10 straight combined. Ohio State with the national title a few years back, and looks like we're poised to do it again here in the Big Ten.
Take a look at, again, the back part of this meet right now. What's, you know, the pressure's off a little bit. You understand with the score, you've had a little break here. What's Wilkie going to do? Can he give this Iowa's coaching staff some positive feelings about, you know, his potential here going forward?
Coming up next, The Big Show delivers highlights from around the conference, post-game reaction, and in-depth expert analysis. The Big Show, next, right here on BTN. Just want to give credit once again, Jim, to Penn State. We saw Ohio State as well, Iowa. I mean, these guys make it an event.
Yeah, these duels are a lot of fun. They've got great fan bases, and wrestling is packing arenas now. You know, I don't know what the attendance is for this meet, but we're packing it. It's been a great time. That Penn State Ohio State match was the all-time most watched college wrestling duel on television. I'm positive of it. So it's like we're in a great state right now to be able to take advantage of our media attention and people getting treated to great matches in person.
Rasheed leading it 5-1. He's got riding time over 2 minutes.
Again, plenty of instruction now. There's a misdirection shot there for Wilkie. Yeah, Rasheed goes right into that ankle pass situation, and he feels comfortable in this situation, and you want to go ahead and get your head up. And Wilkie seems to be settling with his chest on the leg. Short time.
Stop, guys, up. Up easy. Watch your knees coming out, fellas.
Yeah, that's good instruction there by Mike McCormick. Let both guys know to bring it out of that easy, because he said nobody wants to get hurt this time of year. It's just too tough to come back from.
What you want, bub? Iowa.
See Casey Cunningham giving instructions to Rasheed.
They're going to take neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, here we go.
Situation for bonus points as well if you're Penn State.
So Wilkie,
nice shot.
Sprawling back right there, but good job with he got beat to the punch there on that shot. Wilkie did, and now it's for Rasheed. I mean, he's competing for a spot. It's these moments right now with 1:37 left in the period. Can he bring this up to a major? If you major a guy in this situation, it's huge.
And he's doing it to the number 8 guy in the country.
Correct, yeah. So this is kind of the equivalent of maybe a quarterfinals match, according to the rankings. Whether
it's Rasheed or Kassar, Penn State is in good shape at 197. Both these guys have been a lot of fun to watch.
Cale Sanderson has some great choices there. These guys are competing well.
A lot of coaches would love to have that problem, huh?
Yeah, and I think, this is a guy that wrestled 65 not too long in his career, so he's moving up. And, the reason why the log jam is there at this weight class is because of Bo Nickal at 84. I mean,
and Mark Hall at 74 and Joseph at 65.
Yeah, there's just some solid guys there that you're going to have to move up to maybe find a spot in the weight class. So Stoll warning right there. There's the 1 point. So with riding time, he does have that major.
Major decision intact at the moment.
And this is where the Iowa corner, I mean, Wilkie is right there by the Iowa corner. He continues to compete.
Stop.
Gets the escape.
Yeah. One more takedown.
Here we go, 20 seconds.
Yeah,
you know Rasheed's coming.
Yeah, you really do, you know. So he can go ahead and fake like he's coming. If Wilkie goes ahead and takes a shot, just do a little quick little go behind. Question is, will Wilkie bring it? Nope, straight on double. Wow, this is for effect.
There it is.
Yeah, wow, this is
Cherry
good work.
On top.
Yeah, just two guys just battling for a spot. It's kind of like, you know, you hate to bring the other guy into the performance, but both of them are fun to watch.
Major decision with that late takedown. Rasheed, the man tonight anyways for the Nittany Lions at 197.
Jim Spencer Lee, ranked #1, undefeated, never has been beaten at Carver Hawkeye. He leads the team with energy and with performance.
Yeah, he's the guy that really gets it going. And like Coach Gable mentioned, a little bit surprised that they decided to go at 25. So got to kind of believe that that's exactly where Tom Brands and the Hawkeyes wanted to start this meet.
Brandon Meredith, there you're looking at him from Limerick, Pennsylvania, redshirt freshman, aerospace engineer major. There's a good look at Spencer Lee. He's the energy for the Hawkeyes, redshirt junior. He's just a junior. Two-time junior world and cadet world champion. And here we go.
Oh, right into a takedown there. He's got that cross arm tilt. Here's him getting back points almost immediately.
And he has gotten so many tech falls, but I have a feeling here he is saying, I'm going to get those arm bars running, and I want to pin.
Nice job of Meredith basically getting off his back in that situation. Tight waist ride.
There's only 2-point near fall on the board. So it was just 2 counts by the official. Spencer Lee 15-0 in Carver Hawkeye. Only one time this year, Fabian Gutierrez from Chattanooga, only one wrestler has gone the distance with Spencer Lee, and that was Spencer Lee's first match of the year.
Yeah, tough start here for Meredith, but you know, now he's got that headgear around his eyes almost, and that's from the grinding that Lee has already put on him here with his forehead down the mat. So now he gives up that stall warning. You know, that's a tough call in the bottom position right there because Lee's parallel. I'm not saying he's not successful with what he does there right there. He's got a great tight waist ride, and now he's switching off sides a little bit. On his feet, hits that high crotch again, then comes back up for the waist ride right there, and then Meredith fails on it.
Lee out front, 6-0, 2 takedowns, a near fall, looking to tilt and get the 4 count, which he will this time. That's 4 more points on the board, 10-1.
Yeah, he's the best in the country, Tim, at loading up the hips off of that tilt. You see why. Just so good when he commits to it. And actually gets it done quite a bit right off the takedown.
Spencer Lee, one of 5 Pennsylvania athletes on the team. Murraysville, Pennsylvania, Franklin Regional. He's made a huge impact on this program. The culture, the performance, the Spencer Lee effect.
Yeah, I'd say that Iowa's always had the culture, but he's been the guy that's kind of been able to go ahead and he's just such a calm influence out there. I mean, off the mat. He gets that bar tilt right there with the wrist. Not enough to maybe pin him, but he's got to start maybe thinking about that extra team point you get in a situation like this.
4 more points. It is now 14-1. When you get up 15 points, the match is terminated. That's 5 points on the board. 3 points for a regular decision, 4 points major decision.
He looked over to his corner, Tom and Terry Brands, and a lot of maybe thoughts about getting more of a pinning combination as opposed to a tilt for that extra team point. But with one more tilt, he gets off the mat in the first period. So I could see him just go ahead and doing that and keeping the momentum going, keeping this crowd into it.
undefeated in Big Ten duels in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Spencer Lee for the Hawks out fast in this first period. A 2-point tilt would end the match before the end of the first period.
Really hammering down hard with that tight waist ride.
And Meredith is going to do something that not a lot of opponents has done with Spencer Lee, and that's make it through the first. And our state of success tonight, State Farm state of success is Spencer Lee. And Jim, maybe Meredith should be one of very few that got out of the first period.
We talked about that before the open here, that if Meredith gets into the second period, he's a runner-up for the State Farm state of success.
And that's Spencer Lee tonight, State Farm state of success. Start on their feet. Spencer Lee looking for a takedown which would end it. And he's trying to think about something that could take him to the back. And there's the two. The crowd comes to their feet. And Spencer Lee says, well, I've given you 5. The winner by technical fall. Number 1 ranked and undefeated, Spencer Lee.
Comes back to a very pleased Tom Brands there. DeSanto has really picked up his intensity this year and attack rate, really back in on the shot right away. Now he's coming out the back door. You see where RBY is like to go ahead. He likes to go ahead that near ankle. Actually, he likes to get to the far ankle. He's locked up a cradle. And the referee stopped it. Wow. He got caught. Didn't really get a good look at that. I was focusing so much on Roman Bravo Young's counter there that something happened at the face level there. Let's take a look at it here. Keep an eye on the face of DeSanto. Inside right there. I don't understand that stoppage.
Yeah, I don't either. It was locked up.
Inexplicable stoppage there. And maybe he caught him in the eyes there when he went for the cradle. Really? That's could be a yeah, they're looking at his knee now.
Knee that popped. And his facial reaction was just...
Now a team point has been deducted for in the Iowa corner, it looks like.
Look at RBY there, the sophomore.
Yeah, let's take another look at that. So maybe get a better look at that right knee, see what happened there. So he's came out with the, yeah, you can see where that may have occurred. See the elbow on the outside of the thigh, came out with that toe. Yeah, I could see how that could happen very easily. A little stress on the knee. But what's fortunate there is just not giving up the takedown points, and with the coming back to the neutral position is obviously, oh yeah, they're going to go ahead because he.
And there was a team point taken away from Iowa.
Intentional release there. So RBY had his choice because of the injury timeout right there, and then he took down, and then the intentional release by DeSanto. Interesting to me, Tim, is look at the left arm, how he puts it behind his back. He doesn't want DeSanto, right, to be able to control his left arm. And so it's going to challenge there, right there. You can see how that challenged DeSanto into maybe moving off of that and kind of came out, and then RBY just drove right through him. Really well done.
Great motion by RBY. He's really slick. Nice level change there with that attack. Success for 2 points.
Well, just a straight drive through at the angle that he had. He caught him maybe moving out of the position, so now he's limping a little bit noticeably here. DeSanto is. Huge change of events. I mean, this is definitely a match that felt that Iowa would be favored in because of the 2 past meetings and the physical nature, but when you're hurt out there, it's certainly going to change a lot of that. Wow. Bravo Young doing a nice job with that front trip.
Action coming back.
So
and you can tell that DeSanto's knee is certainly bothering him from it popping when RBY popped the cradle onto him, and they stopped it in the first period.
Well, it's bothering him on the way back to the center. I think he's wrestling pretty hard in the bottom position.
Hey, stay set. You're fine. You're fine, son. You're fine.
So he's got full flexibility of it now. I mean, you see with that his rear end's going back all the way to his heels. Good job of control there by Bravo Young. Now notice how he's scooping that near leg out and he's extending it. Add to that a little wrist ride right there. It's easy to buy a little riding time, already up to 40 seconds. Scooping. Notice how he's scooping and widening the base. Comes and picks the far ankle. Right. Now he takes him up.
And he's getting the count down low below the hips.
But he's moved up off of it.
Right, but he does get the stall call. So the official is warning for stalling Roman Bravo Young for staying below the hips on 5 counts.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because he was clearly out by up above the waist by the time he called that, and that's what the Penn State bench is talking to Kurt Frost about, the second official. He's clearly doing a lot of waving out there to get Bravo Young up off the legs there. Riding time at 1:01.
RBY certainly no stranger to big dual wins, with his big win over Ohio State's Luke Pletcher in the first match last year.
Back in on a shot is DeSanto after the escape.
Yep, escape, 1 point for DeSanto. Back in on that leg.
Now he attacks it. He's got the cradle locked up again. He's behind the leg right there. One more time, he should be able to. They're clearly stopping this without the back points.
Wow, that's you said inexplicable, and so he can't go anymore.
Yeah, he can't go anymore. Yeah, that's why. There's the stoppage there.
And the stoppage is 6 points. That's
Huge.
a medical forfeit there.
Tell you what, when Dan Gable says something about wrestling, when he says something totally like he said in our little pre-meet talk right there, he says something unexpected is going to happen in this meet. That's exactly what happened right here.
6-4, injury default, because DeSanto got hurt and didn't have any injury time left, and so had to give up an injury default. And Spencer Lee started out with a technical fall, but a point taken away against the team. 6-4, and now a quick takedown for Nick Lee at 141.
And that's just a silencer for this crowd. Nick Lee with the early takedown. Of course, Carter Happel filling in for Max Murin. But how about that last sequence? DeSanto had let the official know that he was hurt in the first exchange there off of the cradle, and then came right back to the same technique, basically, Roman Bravo Young did on the counter. And he screamed out again, and that's when the referee, Matt Sorchinski, stopped it, and that's the right call. So just a huge, shocking turn of events. Now Nick Lee on his offense, and he's a guy that's hunting for team points in this situation too. Great candidate for a major here. Switches off to his high crotch to a double. We'll see if he can add any back points to that.
Nick Lee out of Evansville, Indiana. Won a state championship in Indiana for Mater Dei High School. And then he took off his senior year, was homeschooled, and focused on freestyle. Twice he's been 5th in the NCAAs, an All-American as a freshman and as a sophomore.
Locked up near cradle again, and Happel's going to try
and it's locked up.
Fight it off here. He's going to step behind it. We'll see if he can go ahead and do it. If he gets he's got that's tight. That's it. That looked like it was rocked back and forth on that near cradle there. If he can step back aside and get his chest up over that by the shoulders, he can follow it up. Happel, there he does right there. This is going to be tough to stay out of, but Happel somehow does.
Happel fights out of it. Carter Happel out of Lisbon, a 4-time state champion in Iowa, a junior. Dad Dean wrestled for Iowa, and he finds himself behind Nick Lee 8-1.
Now another stall warning from the bottom position here. Way.
Yeah, Lee, he just keeps coming, Jim.
Yeah, I like his shots. I mean, that first shot he hit there, that head to the outside shot, switched to a double. He's also can attack both sides of the body, but he's got it on also a head to the inside shot to that right leg as well. So, and you know, where he impressed me last year was just his good heavy hips defense. When the guy gets in with a shot on him, he can really wear you out. Tough in the top position, rides on the right-hand side.
He really is tenacious on top.
But I think if he's going to look for a fall in this situation, maybe go from the feet to the back, but with short time, that's out of the question.
Takedowns, locked up a cradle, 4-point near fall. And that's the end of the first period. Nick Lee out in front, 8-1. And Cale Sanderson, winner of the last 2 times he's brought the Nittany Lions into Carver Hawkeye. Can't be too upset about the start here. 6-4 lead after 2 matches, and Nick Lee working on a major at least.
Yeah, and you can see where DeSanto in that previous match there was, you can see where that knee got maybe extended, particularly with that toe getting out of a position. And so, you know, there was no reason to basically stay in that. Really didn't have much choice there when he screamed out of that position the second time, so that no injury timeout. But that's could have been what you consider almost a 9-point swing, because DeSanto was heavily favored.
I think that's a good call, Jim. It is a 9-point swing in as they
nice look at that shot, switches off to a double.
Yeah, Nick Lee continuing to work. He had an impressive win last week against Chad Red, a 9-1 major decision.
Yeah, you guys called that. It was I got to take a look at that this morning, and it was just, you know, picked apart a really quality opponent. I think, you know, that was a 2-point match with the Huskers, and we know the Huskers have a pretty decent dual meet team. But coming all the way out to Nebraska a week ahead of time has helped, I think would help the Nittany Lions in this situation, coming back out to Iowa, kind of repeating the same process, duel on Friday.
Yep, they come out from a rec hall, making a haul out to Nebraska and Iowa, hoping to wreck 15,500 Iowa fans' spirits. And so far, they've made it quieter than the Hawkeye fans would like after that injury default win for RBY and a lead, and Lee working on a major decision and maybe more.
Well, he's looking for that cradle, right? Looking for a big move right there. He's collecting the points, but also looking for something that will take his opponent to the back. Knocks him down flat, 13-3 already. And Lee will likely take the down position. He has 3 minutes of riding time. Everything working his way.
Yeah, head on the mat for Happel, just trying to survive down there.
A lot of talk about Jaden Ironman coming out of his Olympic red shirt at 141 with the injury to Max Murin. And you could make a strong case for that happening here with Iowa's pursuit of the team title, and particularly if Murin is hurt.
Jaden Ironman, transfer from Missouri, a 3-time All-American. He's been 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Taken an Olympic red shirt, but he hasn't qualified for the trials yet, and one of the qualifiers is winning the NCAA tournament, so that would make some sense, being on a championship team.
And qualifying for the Olympic trials by winning an NCAA championship. And speaking of those trials, the entire USA Wrestling national freestyle team is having a viewing party at the Olympic Training Center. Bill Zadig, Joe Russell, and the boys watching this big meet. Shout out to those guys. And
I like that duck under they just saw. Would work there, but this is a position where he's push the head down a little bit, maybe get out the front, coming right back. You see, collect that bottom leg, maybe get to a Turk, bottom leg Turk.
Lee taking care of business here. A little more than a minute left in the 3rd period. 14 points. All he needs is 1 takedown. And that's it. And that'll be a tech fall. We've had a tech fall, an injury default, and a tech fall in the first 3 matches. 5 more points on the board for Penn State, 11-4. 184. 2 freshmen. Aaron Brooks, ranked number 10, 7-1, going up against Abe Assad, ranked number 8, 19-3. 2 freshmen could decide this whole thing, Jim. Abe Assad out of Glenbard North High School, Carroll Stream, Illinois. And Aaron Brooks from Hagerstown, Maryland, North Hagerstown High School.
You talk about momentum, and they come out with Assad comes out with the Iron Man song, okay? This is ready to go. You mentioned 2 freshmen could decide this. Actually, 4 freshmen. We've got 2 freshmen at heavyweight.
That's exactly right. Out of the next 3 matchups, 2 of them are all freshmen. So the freshmen will decide this number 1 versus number 2 meet between Iowa and Penn State. Only a second time these 2 teams have met as number 2 and number 1. Headlock by Assad. And
He's going to slip it.
2 points. Yeah. Kind of deja vu on the opposite from what Kemmerer and Hall did.
Yeah.
So a headlock and 2 points for Aaron Brooks comes out of it.
Well, you know, this is a little bit different situation here because he was able to go ahead and the belt buckle was to the sky for a moment right there. So it'd be interesting to see what that reaction time call is. Normally when that left leg flips over like it did, that's immediately 2, all right, with some reaction time. Take a look at the replay on this. Yeah, big old head and arm. How about these guys going at it right there? Underhook right here. Watch the left foot. Does it come over? Right there, I think has been known to be 2.
Yeah, when that left foot came over, you bet.
He's not going to call it that way, so 2 points, Nittany Lions.
Neither of these 2 freshmen afraid. They're stepping out there. They're fearless. Aaron Brooks goes out in front 2-0. National High School Wrestling Coaches Association Wrestler of the Year, Aaron Brooks was. He was a 4-time state champion in Maryland. Spent a year at the Olympic Training Center.
Nice job of hand fighting there. A good forward pressure on that right front trip. You know, that's what I like both these guys. Boy, they're going to be fun to watch in the future. Nice little forward trip right there. Now he's able to get Assad on his nose.
Abe Assad, 2-time state champion in Illinois, was also a national junior freestyling Greco champion. Cadet world team bronze.
Little cat fighting on the hand fighting right there. Cat and mouse going on. Covering the fingers, gets the quick escape. Actually, not really quick. That's 51 seconds of riding time already. I get the feeling that's not going to be a factor in this match. These 2 young guys are going to try to light it up on the feet.
Both guys starting the year thinking they were going to redshirt. Red shirts pulled off, but both coaches felt that they would help them and their team accomplish what their team needed to accomplish this year. Both these teams obviously going for the national championship. Assad in, hip action by Brooks.
Dropped his hips really well on that position, just a straight-on double. Now he's, like we saw with Joseph, he's got right into a single leg shot right there. He's got a better angle right there, but didn't quite feel it. You know, these guys are experiencing this for the first time, but they've had that, you know, it's been an exciting meet, ups and downs, big swings. Now Brooks in on a shot like that. The energy that these guys are coming out with in this environment here, you can get drained pretty easily, particularly in the late matches. You almost need to sequester your thoughts and yourself, get away from everything else to go out there and execute at high level, but it'll be interesting to see what these guys have left, you know, almost emotionally, you know, in these matches.
20 seconds left in the first period, 2-1. Quick score of a counter by Brooks.
Wow, it's coming up, got an opportunity to score.
Big 12 seconds left.
Gets him off of his feet. Nice little cover right there by Brooks and collects
2
the
points
at the end of the period.
Under 4 seconds left. A big 2-point scored out in front 4-1 now.
Yeah, I tell you what, I love it when guys take their opponent up off the mat right there. Okay, now it's I'm going to land him out there. And Assad tries for a big roll through right there. It's just not there. You know, brings his hips to the party, covers well, 2-point takedown.
Good look at Aaron Brooks, highly touted recruit. A little bit more success in high school than Abe Assad did, but the recent months has seen Abe Assad have some really impressive wins and higher ranked than Aaron Brooks, but right now, Brooks out front, 4-1.
Yeah, he's got to be working on a quick escape. He did a nice job of covering fingers right there. Again, a little cat and mouse, a little Granby roll would probably work pretty well right here. He cleared that leg out. You know, Brooks doing just enough right there to tie up those hands, and that's now it's worked out. He's got him to his belly. Things are improving. Cross wrist ride right there. He comes over to the 2-on-1. Again, everything that Assad has been doing early in this match, you got to go back to. An answering escape and a takedown would be huge for him. Brooks looks a lot like what Mark Hall has right there, where they scoop up that near leg right there, pretty heavy on the hands, coming to the far ankle, driving through, moving up off of it.
He lets it go for one. And so, with 45 seconds left in the second period, it's 4-2, but the riding time over 2 minutes for Aaron Brooks.
Yeah. Assad gets on his own shot right now. Now roll through, a spin around attempt there.
Nice reaction by Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks keeping his head up right here. He's got the far ankle. If he can go ahead and loosen that grip on his ankle, which he was working on, and kind of let it go.
There's the stalemate. They'll go to the feet. 21 seconds left. A big 21 seconds for Abe Assad here if he can score. There's Michael Kemmerer and Spencer Lee, two of the winners for the Hawkeyes tonight, cheering on their teammates.
It's just not going to be enough for Assad to get to the leg. He's got to get that second move almost immediately once he gets there. Not going to be enough to get to it.
End of the second period. 4-2 lead, riding time over 2 minutes for Aaron Brooks. And Brooks will begin the third period underneath.
Solid period for Brooks. He was able to go ahead, gave up the escape, but got at least another minute of riding time in that situation. So 2:07 does nothing for Assad trying to ride him in this situation. Brings the clock down a little bit, but he's got to do his work on the feet. Now he gives up a
and you've talked
reversal.
about this, Jim.
Yeah.
He didn't push him away.
Yeah. You know, in the rule book right now where you can give an intentional release, I just don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Reversal for Aaron Brooks there. A big 2 points for the Nittany Lion.
It just burns clock, and yeah, it's 15 seconds, but that's 15 seconds you'd like to have back at the end of the match.
The pressure going forward by Brooks, owning the middle of the mat.
Yeah, he's pushing Assad to the edge. Now he's blocking really well with his head, and with his freestyle experience, he doesn't get pushed off the mat very much, so he knows how to lower his center of gravity, work with the head, circle back out and back in to the center of the mat.
Comfortable lead right now, 6-3, riding time secured, so it's effectively a 4-point lead for the Lion.
And a 4-point lead in the way this is being wrestled is like a 7-point lead. Really comfortable now, snapping, straight on shot. Again, shoelaces flat, one and done right there, no second move.
Hip action by Aaron Brooks, fending off the shot, as you said, Jim, that was straight on.
Well, sometimes you've seen guys when they hit that straight on shot, they switch off to a single. Okay, the shot is the setup. Okay, shoot to set up a better finish, but you can't do that if you go shoelaces flat and you don't continue to drive into them. Big win, big answering win for the Lions after the upset.
Back and forth. This one pretty much a toss-up, and Penn State's going to come away with the win. They're going to put 3 more points on the board. That team point that was taken away by in that second matchup on the team of Hawkeyes looms big. It's 17 now to 3, and there's a win for Aaron Brooks, his first outing at Carver Hawkeye. Hawkeyes All-American going against All-American Shakur Rasheed. Rasheed, an All-American 2 years ago at this weight class. Last year he went back to 184, did not All-American. Jacob Warner, as a freshman, All-American last year. Big matchup, big stage, big opportunity for both wrestlers.
No question about that, Tim. Here, Warner is Jacob Warner just coming off of a loss a couple weeks ago at Nebraska against Schultz. And ironically, last week, the same man, Schultz, beat Shakur Rasheed. Yeah. Shakur Rasheed is a guy who was the #2 seed in the country at one time. I mean, had a fantastic season going his sophomore year. Beat out, I don't know if he beat out Anthony, but they made the decision to go with Shakur Rasheed as opposed to Kassar. And but then had that knee injury here with the ACL. It answers a lot of questions, that injury does, is why he hasn't had the success. Just coming back from it, work in progress. Warner on the leg, he's pretty good at finishing here.
2 points for the Hawkeye, out front 2-0. You made a good point. Shakur Rasheed coming back after 10 months off the mat. Had an ACL tear surgery after the season last year and just getting back, a little rusty. And Warner goes out, the Tolono, Illinois native, Washington High School, 3-time Illinois state champion, getting the takedown against Rasheed from Coram, New York, Longwood High School. Both All-Americans at 197. Rasheed 2 years ago. Last year, Warner got on the podium. And he's come out of the gate fast, Jim.
Yeah, it's important for Warner basically to stay tight with those hips right there. Good mat returns. Nice job. Making it difficult every time Rasheed comes up to his feet. Take him off the mat or get it. That return. So let's take a look at this shot. Basically, he's able to go ahead and finish it. He's really good right in here. Chest up, right, follows right through, dove on top of those legs. Big finish.
Nittany Lions out in front, 17-13. If Warner gets a regular decision, it will be 17-16, obviously. Then coming down to the 2 freshman heavyweights to decide this meet between #1 and #2. Yeah. Sold out, Carver Hawkeye, and Warner right now trying to get it done to keep the Hawkeyes in this.
And Rasheed not having a difficult time getting to his feet, but once he does, Warner has really got a tight waist, and no separation, not allowing Shakur Rasheed to separate his hips. They come up, they're tight right there, hips tight. A lot of times you see guys will hit a standing Granby from that. It looks like it's there, but may not be comfortable with that technique. What I'm saying there right there is maybe Rasheed has tried standing switches and trying to hand fight right there. Now maybe adding a shoulder roll to that might get a quick escape. Now notice what Warner did right there. He changed sides. A lot of times you want to just do that just to change things up a little bit, slow the guy down. He's back on his strong side.
Warner doing a nice job, whether it's picking up or tripping forward, making several attempts, so he's not going to get the Stoll call, even though Rasheed keeps coming up. The good action by Warner as he returns to the mat.
Yeah. It's a good point, though. He'd be questioning how long that the official's going to allow him just to go ahead and come up with the mat returns and not consider that stalling right there. There, separated the hands.
After 1:32 riding time built up by Warner, an early takedown in the riding time, back to their feet with 40 seconds left in the first period.
I think Warner really has pretty good defense.
Really excellent, you're right.
Holds leads well. Again, looking for points in that situation. And I think we've seen that 2 or 3 times here today where guys will get a little bit off balance, but the other guys just pursuing and attacking. We saw that with the Kemmerer match. But continuing the attack, continue to move forward here when you have a slight offensive advantage.
"15 seconds left in the first period. Early takedown, ride out, escape, 2-1 in favor of Jacob Warner, the sophomore, over the senior, Shakur Rasheed.
Look, talking about strategy going into the next period. With that 1:32 of riding time here, Warner doesn't necessarily have to go down.
And it'll be Shakur Rasheed's choice. And he chooses down.
Yep, chooses down right there. It's going to add to the riding time, so. Didn't have to make that decision because he deferred.
No, he wanted to defer, but the coaches told him to choose down, and he chose down.
I think that's a good call here. You use your energy right now to get up real quickly. So, again, the 141 going into the third, Warner may not have to go down because he's got the riding time point. And Rasheed has not been able to get to a leg yet.
Rasheed getting comfortable back in the lineup, off the mat for almost a year. Things like reaction time, growing with each match.
Yeah, I keep on coming back to that strategy here because if Rasheed was tough on top, he could basically ride out the third period. He doesn't give him the take, work ways away from that strategy, but still just tied and keeps Warner down. Take this to overtime that way.
Two to two. Minute 41 riding time for Warner, the Hawkeye. Will get his choice in the third period. Rasheed started the second period down, got the escape.
So, again, not desperation time for Rasheed to take the points if they're there.
We're at 197 pounds. Tim Johnson along with Jim Gibbons and the number one ranked Hawkeyes trailing number 2 Penn State 17-13. One more match after this. Iowa's got to win this match to stay in it.
See where Warner slowed down his attacks quite a bit. Now we're going to get to that decision. Does he choose to go down against a guy who's really tough in the top position?
End of the second period. And if Warner can keep this lead, there's Tony Cassioppi, the freshman, number 4, and it could come down to him. Tony Cassioppi out of Roscoe, Illinois, Hannanika High School. Could it all come down to him? Well, that's up to Warner, and he is taking down, Jim.
He's taken down. He looked over to his coaching staff. He actually told them, I'm going to take down.
And gets the escape.
Yep. The coaching staff was particularly Terry Brands was talking, keep your head up, all right? Did exactly that. And these are areas that, you're trying to come back from an injury. It sometimes can affect your top position riding because it takes a lot of energy and you got to be in really good condition to be able to put that wear and tear on the guy and he doesn't quite look like himself yet at this point in the season.
Like I said, I called him a little rusty. Still getting comfortable back in the lineup. When you're out 10 months, it takes its toll on things like reaction time, but growing with each match. But Warner right now wrestling a very strategic, smart match.
Right in the middle with that, everything's a little short, little arm drag right there. He's got a good hold of the collar.
And now he's going to be playing with house money a little bit with the riding time.
Correct, yeah, good call. Straight on double leg shot. Warner really heavy hips. Again, like we saw before, shoelaces flat.
And a takedown there. A takedown and ride out for Rasheed would take it to overtime. He can't win it with just a takedown. The riding time locked in. It's 4-2 effectively. 3-2 on the board. One more point that will be given to Warner for riding time. And the Hawkeyes fans understand what's going on. If it stays here, if Warner wins, it's going to go down to heavyweight. 15 seconds left.
Several attacks right there, but Warner holding position.
Warner wins. Oh, baby. It comes down to heavyweight. Giving Tony Cassioppi a chance Down to heavyweight. Number 1, number 2, all being decided on the last match of the night. Heavyweight. Tony Cassioppi, redshirt freshman, ranked number 3, undefeated. Seth Nevills, true freshman, 10-0, ranked number 16. Seth Nevill. Next Nevill up, they say at Penn State. Nick Nevills, his brother, the heavyweight for a couple of years, All-American. Tony Cassioppi out of Roscoe, Illinois. Onondaga High School, 2-time state champion. Seth Nevills out of Powerhouse, Clovis High School in Clovis, California, a 4-time state champion.
Nevills called into duty this year after the injury to Anthony Cassar, the returning national champion.
I said Nick Nevills, his brother was an All-American for Penn State. His brother AJ, a wrestler at Fresno State, and his older brother Zach wrestled for Stanford. Wrestling family.
And kind of heard some, a little bit of talk about Anthony Cassar maybe coming back into some limited action here.
He's working his way back on the mat, so whether he's out the whole season or not is unknown. And there's Cassioppi in on the single leg.
Nice job. He's going to go ahead. Oh, Nevills does a nice job of bringing that shin whizzer down, putting a lot of weight on it. He's able to go ahead and do it. Now he's going to slip around. Can he collect both legs? Now he's in a situation to shelf the ankle. Treetop. We haven't seen the big man in this position yet. Nice job of keeping that ankle free. He whiffed on the, Nevills whiffed on the sweep.
The athleticism.
One more time.
Boy, the athleticism of both wrestlers, Jim.
Yeah. Now he's going to come back through. Oh, he didn't quite get out of it because he hasn't put the leg in yet. Wow, the big man's coming through on that. What a scrambler.
Wow. Great reaction by Nevill, and then counter reaction by Cassioppi on top. Didn't allow an offensive point his last 2 years in high school. Cassioppi loves to pin, and here you hear the chants, Tony.
Match settling back down. Cassioppi has a pretty solid near wrist ride. Both guys work pretty hard in that position, but Cassioppi continuing to go ahead, tight waist. Cross wrist now.
Two-point takedown. Now stalling underneath on Seth Nevills. His brother Nick got the win against Sam Stoll 2 years ago to seal the deal for Penn State's win 2 years ago, the last time these two met.
Nothing's really changed with these two guys in near wrist ride. Cassioppi just, he can come out to the side with that. Keeps a lot of weight forward, a lot of pressure forward, circling around, but he's also kind of locked back in there in the crotch so that he can get back pretty quickly and knock him off of his knees right there. Well done. Take a look at the takedown here by Cassioppi. Let's start with a Nevill spin here. He's able to go ahead with that shin whizzer. Felt Cassioppi drop his head. Wasn't able to collect that far ankle. And now Cassioppi, when Neville's almost all the way around, again, looks back into the pressure right there, looks back into the guy and gets another, almost felt like a reversal, but it ended up being the takedown because there's no takedown given, even though Nevills was covering.
So Nevills will choose, he got the choice, and he chooses neutral, does not choose to go underneath Cassioppi. So 2-0, minute 42, a riding time for Tony Cassioppi.
It'll be interesting to see if Cassioppi looks for that straight double shot he has. He's pretty good at getting a little quick little angle and dropping in. See where Nevills can scramble. Comfortable lead. 2-0. 142 of riding time. You know, at one level you say that, well, they'll, you know, Nevills has to start taking some risk at some point in time. He's the guy behind with the dual meet on the line.
Less than a minute in the second period. We're at heavyweight. The Hawkeyes trail the Nittany Lions 17-16. A win by Tony Cassioppi would give them 3 points and a 19-17 victory here in the number 1 versus number 2. If it wasn't for the 1 point deduction, team point against the Hawkeyes at 133, it would be 17-17.
Yeah, I think that was, if I had to guess, that team point was just a little bit about a coach just having a discussion. Now, why didn't you call that potentially dangerous? Because it felt like the knee was being taken out at that point, but it is what it is.
And it really has no effect on the outcome as we come down to here, because winner takes all. We go to the third period. Tony Cassioppi says, I want to go down. I'm leading 2-0. He's got a minute 42. He says, I want to do it from the bottom. And so Seth Nevills starts on top, puts the legs in.
What he wants to do is try to keep his head away from his knee here.
And there's the escape.
Gets the escape. Now it's really, this could be the ending takedown right there. Yep.
2 points. And Cassioppi goes out front 5-0. The last time the Hawkeyes beat Penn State was February 8th, 2015, 5 years ago. Come into tonight's dual meet ranked number 1. Hasn't had a close match. Penn State has been all in, Jim. Shown up here at Carver, and rare air when you get number 1 versus number 2, even rarer when they truly come down to the last match.
Well, they've had their opportunities. It was laid out there for them, and lost a tough one at 174. All the things that were kind of lined up there for them, that was a tough match for them to lose. But I think that, let's face it, we needed to know whether, if this Iowa team stumbled in the future, Big Tens or Nationals, whether it would be a team that could pick up the slack and make it a race out of it. I think that that's been established in this dual meet. That Iowa needs to wrestle a complete tournament at the national level anyway, or else this team is going to be right there. So we learned a lot, and I think that we also learned that both these teams are going to be good for quite a while, because they've got some really exciting young guys in the lineup, including these heavyweights, the 84-pounders.
4 freshmen.
Yeah.
Penn State, the winner of 8 out of the last 9 NCAA championships. Never count them out. They're stalling under bottom. 1 point for the Hawkeyes. Hawkeyes have had a decade-long drought. And the Hawkeye fans feel it. They're going to get to celebrate a big victory and stay number 1. Tony Cassioppi wins it by decision, and he wins it for his teammates. Hawkeyes win 19-17.